Hello, buddy. Welcome back to the Tin Man Score channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and today I'm finishing off my Spooky Vibes marathon for you guys. And the first video I'm reacting to is 3 scary Snapchat horror stories. So without further ado, I'm going to turn these lights off, move the camera up here for you guys, and let's get this reaction room in the bag, shall we? Okay, here we go.
This is a messed up story, but it happened and it needs to be told. Back in 2019, when I was a senior in high school, I was enjoying my final summer vacation before going off to college.
Okay.
I was in my room late one night, just watching movies and checking social media, when I went on Snapchat and checked out my friends' stories. I know this will sound weird, but I also always love to check my friends' Snap Map locations. Seeing their Bitmoji characters pop up on a map always cracked me up.
I'm so sorry I had to take the closed captions off. But anyway, I haven't used Snapchat, but I did hear that a bunch of people like to come up with creative and funny Snapchat emoji pictures as their profile. So if your friends try to look you up on Snap Map, it would probably be funny just to see where you're going to. But then you never know, you might come across some weirdos on the zap. But I don't know what's going to happen here, so let's just continue on with the story and see, shall we?
And I just like knowing where they were. Well, that's when I noticed my one friend's location, Jessica. Jessica's location showed that she was in the middle of our town's local cemetery. It was a Friday night, and she could have been out there with anybody doing dumb shit. So I decided to text her and asked her why she was there. I never got a text from her that night, which isn't too unusual. Jessica was under no obligation to tell me why she went to the places she went to, even if it was a cemetery at midnight. Anyway, the next night, I was doing the same thing. I was chilling in my room, watching movies and scrolling through social media. I went onto Snapchat again and saw that Jessica was still at that cemetery. I did find this pretty weird, so I texted her again, asking if she was alright, and still got no response. Jessica was a really good friend of mine, and I found this behavior quite alarming.
Yeah, that would be strange just to see that one of your friends is at a cemetery. And I was just thinking, I hope she ain't doing no Ouija board session out there, because that'd be messed up. But I gotta guarantee that this person's friend Jessica was probably kidnapped and was taken there. That's my theory. Hence why she didn't respond so quickly.
So, despite it being 1 a.m., I got into my dad's car and drove over to the cemetery. When I got there, it was super dark. I honestly was terrified that some monster or killer was going to pop up and snatch me. But I pulled out my cell phone and pulled up Snap Maps. I had walked maybe 20 yards into the cemetery, almost to the exact location of Jessica's Bitmoji. I called out several times, looking for any hint of movement. That's when I decided to call her, and here's the part that I hate telling. I heard a phone ringing to the left of me. I walked over to a gravestone, bent down, and saw Jessica, with her mouth wide open and her throat slit, lying dead near a gravestone.
Oh, heck no! Call the police and get out of there. That's definitely a crap your pants moment right there.
I remember crying out in the night like a dying wolf. I tried to see if she had a pulse, but she was ice cold, like she'd been dead for days. I called my parents, who called the police. Police were able to access the cemetery's surveillance footage and discovered what happened. Jessica and her ex-boyfriend had come to the cemetery last night. In the footage, they appeared to be arguing. Apparently, Jessica was telling him that she wanted nothing to do with him any longer. He snapped, pulled out a knife, and did what he did. And here's the most disturbing part. Her ex placed her on the grave spot of Jessica's deceased mom. He said in the interview that they were both bitches and that he felt no remorse for what he did. He's a monster of a human being. I lost my best friend that night. I always check Snap Maps now, like it's my job, to make sure my family and friends are okay. And I hope that piece of shit rots in jail for the rest of his life.
You got that right. If you weren't so ill-tempered or being a moron towards this girl Jessica, then she wouldn't have broke up with you. But I cannot believe that he said in his interview that he placed her body right next to her mother's grave because they were both B words. Unbelievable. Man, if I was the brother or dad of that girl, I would have been lunging at him if I heard that testimony in the courtroom. Because this guy does not have a care for humanity at all. May she rest in peace. And I hope that psycho ex of hers burns for all eternity.
Last year, my good friend Chelsea suddenly passed away. The doctor said that it was a brain aneurysm, which is terrifying because she was a completely healthy 22-year-old girl. But anyway, 2 weeks after Chelsea passed away, I was downstairs in my living room making acrylic paintings. I sell them on Etsy, and it's pretty much my full-time job. It was very late, like 3 a.m. I was just about to finish up when I got a notification on my phone. I looked at it and saw that I received a Snapchat. I had my notifications on private, so it did not say the name of who sent the snap, just that I was sent one. I clicked the notification. At first I thought I was reading the wrong name, or just imagining things, because there was no way this was real. I had gotten a Snapchat from Chelsea. For a brief second, I had almost forgotten that she had passed away, then quickly remembered that she was buried and gone. I almost did not open it, but what if it was a sick joke or prank?
I'm sorry to hear about your friend Chelsea passing away. Brain aneurysm ain't no joke. Because you could be a healthy person and it could come at any moment just like that. And if somebody was able to hack her Snapchat account after she passed, just to send the message is really sick in the head, I tell you. Because you're really going to make her friend freak out. But anyway, let's continue on with the story, shall we?
But then again, I thought, what if it wasn't? I clicked the Snapchat and opened it up. I guess I don't know what I was expecting, but I definitely was not expecting to see a black screen with the words, "I'll see you soon," on it. I threw my phone down, scared shitless, and scanned my living room. I was fully convinced that I was going to see Chelsea's dead body staring at me from a closet. When I calmed down again and started thinking logically again, I told myself it was probably just some sicko playing a prank, and just ended up going to bed. The next morning, I got a call from my other good friend, Natalia. She also got a Snapchat from Chelsea at 3 a.m. last night, saying the exact same thing. Pissed off, we both decided that we had to go to Chelsea's parents' house and find out what happened to her phone. When we got there that afternoon, we tried to be as polite as possible, being that their daughter's death was still very recent. We asked them what they did with Chelsea's phone. Natalia took a screenshot of the snap that we received last night and showed it to them. Her parents were absolutely baffled. They invited us in and pulled out a lockbox from the closet hallway. It was where they kept Chelsea's cell phone, her Nintendo Switch, and other trinkets that belonged to her. They said no one had her phone. It's been locked up in here this whole time. And now here's something really creepy. Chelsea's parents said around the same time that we received those Snapchats last night, it was unnaturally cold in their house. They said it got so cold they could see their breath and had to turn the heat up to 88 just to get remotely warm. We left Chelsea's parents' house with more questions than we did answers. Nobody can explain how we received those snaps at 3 a.m. from our deceased friend. I'm half tempted to go see a psychic or medium, but until then, I thought writing the story to you would be a start. Thanks for listening.
Okay, that's spooky. You go to your friend Chelsea's parents' house, and they said there ain't no way and you can get messages from her phone because her phone and her other trinkets were in a lockbox in the closet. Then how are those messages getting out? I hate to say it, but I'm kind of leaning towards that she did not go to heaven yet. She's probably still lingering around for God knows what. But that would be spooky when you go there and then the parents said that after you guys received those messages, they literally had to turn the heat on in the house because it felt cold all of a sudden. Really creepy. I wouldn't mind her going to see a psychic medium either, just to figure out what's going on, or get a priest in there to see if she needs help passing over to the other side, just so she could be free. Unless she was just checking to make sure her parents and friends were all right still before she left.
This story happened to me in high school, and I'll be the first to admit that I did not hang around the best group of friends. They were mostly drug dealers and wannabe gangsters who always got in trouble. Anyway, one Saturday night, I was at a house party. It was around midnight. I was talking to some friends when I got a Snapchat alert. I checked my phone and saw that it was from my friend John. And just for some quick background, John was known as one of the biggest drug dealers in our school. So I opened his snap, but when I opened it, it was not what I was expecting. The snap is a photo of John kneeling on the ground, his arms tied behind his back, and his face all bloodied up. I did not fully understand what I was looking at. Then I read what the snap said. It said, "Answer the riddle, or your friend dies." I replied back to the snap and told John that this was a dumb joke. Moments later, I received a video Snapchat. In the video, there were 3 men all wearing masks. They said this was not a joke and had a gun pointed at John's head, saying that if I did not answer the riddle correctly, they were going to execute him. Now I knew that this was some deep shit. They sent the riddle again. I honestly forgot what the exact riddle was. Something stupid. I think I even tried to Google the answer to make sure that I was right. I sent my answer via Snapchat and waited for their reply. A minute later, I got a snap saying, "Sorry, wrong answer." I opened the next video Snapchat and, still to this day, cannot get the images out of my head. These thugs sent a video of them executing John, gun to head, point blank. There was no mercy, nothing, just pure execution. The snaps were later saved as evidence in the conviction of 2 of the 3 men who were responsible for John's death. The third was killed by another gang rival before the police could get to him. After seeing John executed, I knew that the drug life was just a dead-end street. If you're wondering why these guys killed John and sent the Snapchat to me, it was because John owed them money that he was not able to repay. This was their demented way of getting him back. It's fucked up, but I guess that's just life. I haven't downloaded Snapchat since, and I actually own my own business now, and I am completely removed from the drug and crime scene. Don't ever get involved in that life. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, that's really messed up. This is why you don't get involved in any cartel or gang related business, because something like this would happen to you. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and this has been another successful installment of the Tin Man Score channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and I said that's a wrap. And that's day off.